Hi, my name is Alexa Galasso, and I'm here to give you some tips on how to college. I know it's hard being a college freshman. I mean, you're away from home for the first time. You don't have to pay attention to your parents. You have your own time and you make your own schedule. It's an exciting time, but it's also extremely scary. I mean, this is coming from a college senior. I'm about to graduate and I'm ready to take on the real world, which is my new adventure, my new steps to life that I'm scared about. And I'm sure in 10 years I'll look back and I wish I had a how-to guide. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about how you prioritize school, make decisions, and just some other tips for your incoming freshmen. My first tip that I can give that's super important is not to worry so much. There are so many lists to be made before coming in as a college freshman, how to make your dorm homey, how to wake up and find your classes on a giant school campus, whether it's public or private, especially during a time with COVID where things are uncertain and you might be online. That's my biggest set of advice is don't worry so much because you will figure it out and your entire freshman class is figuring it out at the same time as you are. My second piece of advice is to play small ball. I mean, this was something I was told by my older sister going into college, that it was so important to play small ball. Over a semester, small actions pile up. So that means if you're late to class, you could be docked points. If you miss class, you get docked points. So I'm saying when I say play small ball, I mean you do your extra credit assignments, correct a test or essay when it's offered, talk to your professors. They're your best friends and your worst enemies at the same time, but you have to listen to them, and they appreciate when you communicate with them. I mean, I've had professors in my past where I always ask questions, and they were very lenient when I would have late work, and I think that it goes a long way to make that relationship and to do those extra credit assignments and go to your office hours. Another thing that I really think is important to the entirety of your college career. If you're conflicted between staying in and going out, choose the latter. I mean, this is coming from someone who's been here for 4 years, and I've had my fair share of going out, partying, having fun, socializing, but your fondest memories will not be made from the inside of your room. While I'm saying go out, I'm also saying don't prioritize going out and drinking and going out with your friends and staying out until all hours of the night when you have an essay due the next day. I'm just saying that you have to make sure you have fun and make friends and not stress yourself out too much, because stress is your biggest vice in college. Another thing that I can definitely touch on for incoming freshmen, as this episode is more general and we'll be going over little tips, is read. Read the school paper, read your emails when you get them, stay up to date on things because it's so good to be in the know. And with technology now, I mean, I'm going to miss looking at my phone and seeing the notifications about what's going on campus and what kind of things are popping up. And, I just think that you need to worry less about those homework assignments or going out and, creating an image for yourself, because college is a place where your self-expression is going to go much farther than it was in high school, because you don't have the restraint of your parents. You don't have the restraint of a curfew or your hall monitor. You are completely on your own, where you have total control over the decisions you make, the times in which you're leaving and coming and going. And, this is a crazy time. And I think that one of the most important takeaways of my college career was the amount of socializing I did on top of maintaining that healthy balance. I mean, you know what they say. Your parents have probably said everything in moderation is good. So is everything in college. You have to make sure that you're balancing that work and that play. You work hard, you play hard. You can reward yourself for studying really hard in a test by going out and hanging out with your friends. I think that there's something to be said about not wanting to be holed up in your room for the entire day. This episode of my how-to guide for college is basically a compilation of my pieces of advice as a college senior, as a female, as a young woman, to anyone that's coming into school that doesn't know what they're doing, because I didn't have any idea what I was doing. Yes, did I have advice from older friends and siblings and family members? Of course, but you probably did too. And if you didn't, I hope that this podcast can help that.